Thank you very much. Let me remind, as a session chair, that each speaker, those who will present their papers, they will have 10 minutes. Because we have to conclude this session by 1. If you want to go beyond, you can go, but be mindful that 10, 12 minutes for each speaker. This is one thing. And then the second thing is that before I conclude the session, if there is time, there will be some Q&A, meaning just one round of question answer session. I must thank Federal Urdu University, Department of International Relations, and also Institute of Political Science, University of Warmia and Mazury. And basically, the conference, the theme of the conference, that is Polish-Pakistan relations, challenges and opportunities. As a keynote speaker, I need your attention, please. As a keynote speaker, let me spell out a couple of things, 3 things. The first is the background of the topic. The second is the historical dimension of Pakistan-Polish relations. The third is the economic side of relations. And then there is another dimension, the way forward. Where do we go from here? About Poland, very briefly, that its population is only 38 million. 38.5 million, which is slightly higher than Karachi. So Karachi's population is 25 million. Poland's population is 38 million. But it is a country which has a lot of space. And then the second thing is that Poland is perhaps the only country, the world, and my Polish colleagues, they know better than me, which disappeared from the map of the world. Late 18th century. Poland was partitioned thrice. First partition of Poland, second partition of Poland, third partition of Poland, you name it. So there is a resilience as far as the people of Poland concerned, and who can forget the historic movement which was launched by a trade unionist, Lech Walesa, that he was the one who formed Solidarity movement. And Poland, Warsaw Pact, and certainly the changes which took place after the end of the Cold War. And Poland is a member of NATO now. Coming to the keynote speech, a reference was made about Polish-Pakistan relations. A couple of references were made that we are celebrating 60th anniversary of Polish-Pakistan relations on 17th of December 2022. Polish embassy was established in Karachi in 1962 and then was moved to Islamabad in 1965. Pakistan established its embassy in Warsaw in 1969. 3 things which happened in Polish-Pakistan relations. The first is certainly for a long period of time there was an ideological factor. Poland, a member of Warsaw Pact, an ally of the Soviet Union. So that ideological factor to some extent impeded relations between Pakistan and Poland. The second thing is that despite the ideological dimension, Polish-Pakistan relations continued. 1970-1971, the total trade of Poland and Pakistan was $40 million. And Poland at that time, that is 51 years ago, was Pakistan's 7th largest trading partner. Now, the total volume of trade between Pakistan and Poland, which I will discuss later on, that is more than 500 million euros. The third thing is, apart from, the ideological factor, and despite that, the relations between these two countries continued. An unfortunate incident took place on November 1st, 1970, when the Polish deputy foreign minister was unfortunately killed by a PIA catering van driver. And not only the Polish deputy foreign minister was killed, 2 journalists were killed, and the deputy director of intelligence bureau was also killed. Now, the incident took place when the Polish delegation led by the President of Poland was departing to Warsaw from Karachi. And why it happened? When the person was interrogated by the state that you killed the Polish deputy, although the target was the Polish president. But he escaped somehow because there was a VVIP line and the catering van, it ramped into the... So he said that it's my holy mission to kill all these socialists, as that was his mindset, against communists, against socialists. Anyway, now, I don't want to repeat what was said in the morning in the inaugural session, that how after the end of the Second World War, making use of, or during the Second World War, making use of the Persian corridor, from Soviet Union, 30,000 Polish nationals were transported to British India, to the port city of Karachi. They were evacuated from the USSR. And it is the legacy of the 30,000, that's a lot of number, that after 1947, when Pakistan came into being, they were granted citizenship, many of them. Then in 1948, the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, Liaquat Ali Khan, he authorized or sanctioned a 3-year agreement in which the Pakistan Air Force, PAF, Pakistan Air Force, that how the Polish officers were inducted into the Pakistan Air Force. And one officer, he reached to the position of Deputy Chief of Air Staff. There were 30, instructors and others, Polish from that side, who became part of the Pakistan Air Force, and they fought during 1965 and 1971 war, Indo-Pakistan war. So that is what is the historical thing as far as these two countries are concerned, although far, but then 30,000 Polish nationals living in Pakistan at that time, who were basically facilitated by the British. Trade and commercial relations between these two countries, I mentioned that how in 1970, 1971, the trade between Poland and Pakistan, that was $40 million, and Poland was Pakistan's 7th largest trading partner. 3 areas where Polish-Pakistan trade flourished. The first one was cooperation in shipping and shipbuilding. That agreements were signed between Polish shipping company in Gdynia, they pronounce it Gdynia, although the spelling is Gdynia, and Pakistan Ocean Shipping Company. So there is a history to it. that how interaction between Pakistan shipping and the Polish shipping grew with the passage of time. 1964, when there was a barter, an agreement, barter agreement signed in 1964 between these two countries. And then certainly an agreement was signed between Poland and Pakistan way back on September 25th, 1974 on avoidance of double taxation. A maritime trade agreement was signed January 25th, 1975. Agreement on civil aviation signed 30th September 1977, and many others. So therefore, in 2007, that was the milestone in Polish-Pakistan relations, when the then President of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf, he visited Warsaw in 2007. And 5 bilateral agreements were signed and MOUs were signed, encompassing defense cooperation, small and medium size enterprises, industries, cooperation, education, science, culture, and other areas. Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Pakistan and their counterpart in Poland, they were also. And then certainly that how other areas of cooperation took place. I mean, this conference is basically not the only conference on Polish-Pakistan relations. Way back, this year, February 12, 2020, there's an institute in Islamabad, which is a Muslim institute. It organized a seminar on Pakistan-Poland relations, pursuing a collaborative future. And then there was joint international conference by the Youth Diplomacy Forum in Islamabad and Warsaw Institute. That was held also this year. So therefore, when we talk about Polish-Pakistan relations, certainly there are bright prospects, there are opportunities, and there are also challenges. Trade of 500 to 600 million euros, I think that is nothing. And certainly there is a scope as far as information technology is concerned, and in education, in science and technology, in culture and elsewhere. So when we are celebrating 50th anniversary of Polish-Pakistan relations, we have to be mindful to the fact that these two countries can collaborate in diplomacy as far as economic, because Poland is a member of European Union, and Poland has supported Pakistan that GSP, that is Generalized System of Preferences, status, GSP plus status, be given to Pakistan. So Poland has been supporting. Ukraine is another area, war in Ukraine. That Poland, as a member of Ukraine, as a neighbor of Ukraine and Belarus, how the war in Ukraine is affecting Poland. And Pakistan and Poland can certainly play a role for an early end of war in Ukraine, because the war in Ukraine, if it continues for long, it will destabilize the whole of Europe, like the war in Bosnia-Herzegovina did, former Yugoslavia, in early 1990s. Now, there is, I will just finish because I think my time is up, is over. But there are a couple of things which we have to remember. That the Polish president visited Pakistan in 1970. Pakistan's president visited Warsaw in 2007, but there have been visits by the chairman Senate, the chief of army staff, the then chief of army staff, the former chief of army staff, who retired a couple of days back, General Khamar Javed Bajwa. He visited Poland last year. So there is defense cooperation between Poland and Pakistan. And also as far as the chairman Senate and other, the assemblies, the national assemblies and things like that. So there has been a lot of activity going on. What is required is to move beyond a state-centric approach as far as Polish-Pakistan relations concerned. And Poland is very much mindful, is supportive for augmenting cultural, educational, scientific ties between Poland and Pakistan. Track 1 is there, track 1 diplomacy, but this is track 2, what we are witnessing. Track 2 is diplomacy between the non-officials of the two countries. And then there's another track. If you want to have a breakthrough in Pakistan-Polish relations, which is called as track 3, people-to-people interaction. How many of us are knowledgeable about Poland and vice versa? And unless we read history, that a country which had disappeared from the map of the world several times, reappeared, and how Germany and Russia collaborated. That when German forces, they attacked Poland on 1st of September 1939. That was the beginning of World War II. And then, of course, the genocide in Poland of Jews. Hundreds and thousands of Jews were massacred in Poland. Hundreds and thousands of Poles were killed. So Poland has suffered a lot. Absolutely. And then its present leadership wants that there should be peace. And the challenge is the war in Ukraine. Russia, when I visited Berlin, I'll just end. When I visited Berlin in 2018, in Brandenburg Gate. So Brandenburg Gate, that's a very historical, place in Berlin. So there was a wall in Brandenburg Gate, a wall which basically reflected the Polish, Polish-German relations, year by year. Now, so trade relations, economic relations, cultural relations, this is the world of geoeconomics, information technology, globalization and soft power. And therefore, I would end the note that this track 2 event, which has integrated from scholars from Poland and from Pakistan and the students and all that, track 2 primarily can be very useful provided it is supplemented with track 3. If you have a Schengen visa, Schengen visa, you can visit Poland. Absolutely. Poland is a member of European Union. No questions asked. But how many of us have the opportunity or they visit Poland? If you want to Schengen visa, you go to France, you go to Germany, you go to Italy and other, thank you very much. and other members of European Union. But going towards eastward, as far as, because Poland is not a Central European country, it's an Eastern European country. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, these countries. And then, of course, you have Czech Republic, you have Slovakia, further down. So that can be done through, as far as Poland is concerned. And I'm glad, I must compliment again in the end. Yes, in the end, the fact that Department of International Relations Federal Urdu University has organized a conference, a 2-day conference on Polish-Pakistan relations, challenges and opportunities. I urge upon the organizers to document this event, send recommendations to the policy makers, both in Warsaw and in Islamabad, that where do we go from here. Thank you very much.